Well, good evening and welcome once again to Letchworth Cable Access. I'm Kyle Adamczak, and tonight we have as our guest Ashley Covert, who is the reigning Wyoming County Dairy Princess. Your reign started when?
My reign started in May
May of 2019.
19.
And what is the Dairy Princess?
The Dairy Princess is we promote the dairy industry. We make sure our consumers know that farmers put out a healthy, safe product. We make sure that consumers know that our farmers take very good care of their animals and that our farmers are also very aware of the usage of how they use the environment. We also go and talk to kids about, what's in dairy, why is it good for you, and we just keep our consumers educated on the dairy industry.
What are some of the duties of the Dairy Princess?
Sometimes we go to schools, we do school programs. We give speeches at the local meetings. We travel around, just talk about the dairy industry, make sure our consumers are aware.
Do you like it?
Yes, I love being a dairy princess. It gives me a lot of opportunities to meet new people and talk to different people, see what their different experiences are with the dairy industry. So I can go out there, and it's really helped me with my public speaking opportunities too.
Yes. Now, who sponsors the Dairy Princess program?
American Dairy Association Northeast, or ADANE. They
They promote the dairy industry, I assume. And what are the requirements to be eligible to serve as a Dairy Princess?
In order to be a dairy princess, you have to either live on a dairy farm, or you can have a dairy farm sponsor you in order to run, or you have to be past alternate dairy princess.
So were you an alternate Dairy Princess, or did you live on a farm, or what?
I did not live on a farm. When I ran in 2018, I had a farm sponsor me. And then since I was already an alternate dairy princess for my 2019 run, I didn't have to have a farm sponsor me.
Now, how did you get selected? Was there a competition?
It's a pageant.
Oh, okay.
We go in front of 3 judges.
Now, where did this take place?
The Creamery in Perry. And you give a speech, they ask you a spontaneous question, and you do an interview, and then at the end they do the crowning.
And what was your reaction when you were selected?
Very excited. I really enjoyed my past year as an alternate, and I was excited to be able to go out there and do even more and be involved even more. And I'm excited to run for state.
For the state? There's a state Dairy Princess?
There's a state pageant.
And when does that take place?
That happens in January.
January of 2020.
Yes.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed for you.
Yes.
So how do you prepare for a pageant? How did you prepare for the Wyoming County Dairy Princess pageant? And how will you prepare for the state pageant?
For the Wyoming County Dairy pageant, I practiced a lot. I had my mom ask me questions and help me with my answers.
So what kinds of questions?
They ask things like the spontaneous question would be, they ask if a consumer were to come up to you asking about antibiotics, and what would be your response be? And your response would be, well, there's no antibiotics in milk. That isn't allowed to happen.
So what was was that the spontaneous question you were asked?
Yes.
Yes. And what do you do to prepare for the state? It's much the same thing?
Just practice. You have to give, this year they kind of opened it up, and it's free to do whatever you want. You can do a school program, you can do a speech, you get to pick, and I'll have to create that and then practice with my mom again.
So, now we're coming off the holiday season. Did you have any special activities or events that you attended during the month of December?
Well, on Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
I attended the Turkey Trot 5K and handed out chocolate milk to the athletes who ran. In December, my alternates attended the Holiday Delights in Perry because I was busy with college finals, so.
So you're a college student now.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about your education career. Where did you go to school? High school, elementary school, and high school.
I attended Letchworth Central High School.
All through,
Mhm.
K through 12.
Yep.
What was it like going to Letchworth?
Very fun. The relationships with teachers were always really good. They were always super helpful. I enjoyed playing sports from K through 12 because Letchworth offers so many options for sports. Just really welcoming and supportive environment.
So what sports did you play?
I played soccer when I was really young, and then as I got older, I quit and I swam, and then I played softball.
So softball was your main sport?
Mm-hmm.
Varsity?
Yes, I played varsity 9 through 12, and I was on JV my 8th grade year, and I played travel since I was 12 all the way to 18.
Now what's travel softball? What is that? Is that a community group?
It's in the city.
Oh.
It's a group of girls from all different schools. I played in Rochester when I was younger, and then as I got older, I switched over to Buffalo because there's better competition there. So it's just a bunch of girls from a bunch of different schools. I was the only one from around my area on my team. There's a couple other girls in this area that play travel, but we all just come together and we go to different tournaments around the East Coast.
Well, how did you get on the travel team?
You try out.
So you must have been very good.
And I play in college now, too.
You play college ball, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did the Letchworth softball team do when you were there?
My 9th through 11th grade was very much building, and then my 12th grade year, we won sectionals. So.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that must have been something.
Yes.
Now, did you have academic subjects that you liked?
I enjoyed math. I wasn't really a reader. I wasn't really a science-y. But when I got into 9th grade, I really actually enjoyed my agriculture classes. Because you couldn't take ag classes until you got into high school. So math was kind of my thing when I was younger. And then as soon as I hit high school, I started taking all my ag classes. And all my ag classes filled up my schedule. And I really enjoyed those.
Who were the faculty for the agriculture classes?
Kelly Wilcox and Forrest Hess.
You liked them as teachers?
Yes.
Now, Letchworth has a FFA program, Future Farmers of America, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Were you involved in it?
Yes, I got involved my 9th grade year, and I always had the perception that I could have joined when I was younger, but I didn't because I thought, you had to be on a farm. But once I started taking those classes, and my teacher was like, no, you don't have to live on a farm. What are you talking about? You can be involved. You can go out there and learn. And I was like, okay. So I joined, and then my 11th and 12th grade year, I was secretary.
So, how did the FFA benefit you as a student, as a person?
It really brought me out of my shell and educated me about agriculture and the dairy industry and exposed me to new things that I wouldn't have been exposed to if I wasn't involved. And it also brought me out of my shell in my public speaking abilities because I was always the kid that sat in the back of the class and was very quiet. But then once I started getting involved in FFA and the Dairy Princess program, it really brought me out and I really don't mind talking to people anymore.
Now, back to your agriculture classes that you had. You had classes 9 through 12?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did it cover? Was it milking cows or was it more than that?
Well, we do have a barn at Letchworth,
Yeah.
and we didn't get a dairy cow until my 12th grade year. So in ninth grade, I took small animal and large animal, which is just like the anatomy of different animals. And I took vet science my 10th grade year, which was, we went out to the barn, and when the sheep were pregnant, we would take IVs to test the blood. So that was really cool learning that. Then my 11th grade year, I took a public speaking class in agriculture. And then my 12th grade year, I actually went way out of my comfort zone. And I took a ag mechanics class. So I stopped being with the animals and in the barn all the time and went over to more machinery. And I learned how to weld, and it was crazy.
So you learned how to weld. Anything else? Change a tire?
The boys did. My car actually broke down one day at school, and the boys pulled it in, and they showed me how to take the tire off and put everything back on. And, yeah.
Wow. Now, where did you grow up? You're in the Letchworth district. That covers a lot of territory. Mm-hmm. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the town of Castile, not on a farm, smack dab in the middle of two houses, with my mom, my dad, and my two younger brothers and my younger sister.
What did your parents do?
My mom is a teacher's assistant at Letchworth, and my dad is a carpet installer for affordable floor covering in Batavia.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So what was it like growing up in Castile?
I spent a lot of time outside with my brother, and we just ran around, got into whatever trouble we could get into, and we would always visit the Castile cider mill. Every time it was open, me and my brother were in and out of there constantly. And yeah, we just found things to entertain ourselves.
You were stockholders, must have been.
Yeah.
If you were to describe Castile and Letchworth Central School to somebody on the West Coast who was unfamiliar with the area, how would you describe it?
I always say I come from a county where there are more cows than people. Very small, very tight, but very welcoming and very open, and endless opportunities to do things. You just have to find the right things.
So now you're a college student. Where are you going to college?
I attend SUNY Cobleskill.
And was there a big change for you as far as with the transition from high school to college?
Yes. I was always pretty good in high school, didn't really have to study, but in college I study a lot. I'm always in my room with my books, trying to get ready for my next exam. So
you have to read read the assignment.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. It's a lot of work. What are you studying in college?
I major in agriculture business, and next semester I will add a minor in ag education.
What do you hope to do with that when you get out of school?
I want to become an agriculture teacher. For high school.
Yes, mm-hmm. Yes. So maybe you'll come back to Letchworth.
Yes, hopefully.
If you're just tuning in, our guest tonight is Wyoming County Dairy Princess Ashlely Covert. Seems like whenever I see a Dairy Princess listed in the newspaper article, there's always a recipe associated with her. And do you have favorite dairy dishes?
My favorite would have to be a yogurt parfait. In college, I always run down to the dining hall, and I make my little yogurt with some strawberries and some granola. That's always my go-to. But I also enjoy hot chocolate, and I'll take chocolate milk and put it in the microwave and heat it up, and then it just hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Do you have any easy recipes or tips to share with us?
My eggnog recipe would be try it in different things. Sometimes you don't notice that eggnog is useful for some things that you could use it for.
The recipes that you have, are they available online?
You can find most of them in the Perry Herald with an article, but we also have a Facebook page. It's the Wyoming County Dairy Princess Program, and we post a lot of recipes on there.
Excellent, excellent. What are the top 3 things you'd like us to know about milk?
Milk is very good for your bones, so drink it up. Also, that our farmers make our milk in the safest way possible, and that they take very good care of their land while they're making your milk.
That's 2.
2?
3.
3?
Tastes good.
Tastes good, yes.
Would you recommend the Dairy Princess program to other girls?
Yes, I would. I would say get out there and go out of your comfort zone. And it's a great experience. It keeps you busy, keeps you educated. I would really highly recommend girls to go out and try new things.
How would you advise them to prepare?
A lot of practice. I would say just go through it with your parents or with a teacher. They have somebody read over your speech when you write it. They give you sample questions. Go through those with your parents or your teachers. Have somebody interview you. It's just got to do mock things to try and prepare for it.
Yeah. What are your future plans after you get out of college? You mentioned teaching. Anything else?
I would also like to go into Spanish translation. So working with farmers and going on the farm and being a translator for them.
Do you study Spanish now?
I studied it all through high school. Believe it or not, a Spanish class is really hard to get into in college because everyone is taking it. So I still have not gotten in. I'm hoping maybe next year I can get in.
But you can make yourself understood, I imagine, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand most of it. I struggle with speaking back to you.
Communicating?
Yeah. If I hear it, I know exactly what you're saying, but I just can't say anything back to you.
That's interesting. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for your success as a dairy princess?
I'd like to thank Kelly Wilcox for always pushing me out of my comfort zone.
She was your teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Forrest Hess as well for pushing me out of my comfort zone and teaching me everything I knew about agriculture. I'd also like to thank my parents for always being patient with my busy schedule, and my friends also for being accepting to what I'm doing. They always were like, "Wow, I never saw you doing that." I was like, "Yeah, me either." But
So you have a busy schedule. Do you travel a lot for the program?
for the program and between softball, for summers as a dairy princess, you're so busy. So I would be at a travel tournament in Buffalo, and then I'd have to drive home, get changed, throw on a dress, throw on my crown, throw on my sash, and get out there and go serve milk or go be in a parade. So it's very busy, but very worth it.
Are you going to still be involved with travel softball?
Yes, I will be this summer. Mm-hmm.
So how many games do you play?
Last summer, every single weekend I had a tournament. But this summer,
And you traveled throughout the
Yes.
state,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the East Coast, you said.
Mm-hmm. I've been to Indiana, Maryland, Ohio, all down. But yeah.
Is it amateur competition?
There's different classes. So the higher your letter, the better your team is. And we went to a Class A section, nationals. So.
Yes, but is it amateur or is it professional?
Oh no, yeah.
It's amateur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what have you gotten out of travel softball? What have you learned from that?
Be patient. Yeah, be patient. I really liked being exposed to new things again. Going out of my comfort zone, things like that.
And you play in college too.
Mhm.
Now, what schools do you play?
We play a lot of Pennsylvania teams
Yeah.
because we're more lower down by Albany. So we play a lot of Pennsylvania teams. We play Keuka a couple times. We play Wells College, but yeah.
You go to Cobleskill, you said.
Mhm.
Is there a school rival?
Morrisville.
Morrisville.
Mhm.
Have you played them yet?
No, not yet. We only have had 2 games, and that was against Oneonta.
So, our guest tonight is Wyoming County Dairy Princess Ashley Covert. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience before we go?
Just one more reminder that your dairy products come from farmers who care about their animals, farmers who care about the environment, and they always want to provide you with a safe, enjoyable product.
Well, thank you for coming in tonight, Ashley Covert, Wyoming County Dairy Princess. Good luck at the state competition,
Thank you.
and we want to thank you for watching. Good night.